That's me!
Howdy.
Welcome, everybody! So you were defying gravity right now.
I think he already had a shot.
How does he do that?
Phil, you were he's probably gonna try to do it again. With that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, because that wasn't very inclusive language, but I don't care. Welcome to Sidekicks Paranormal, the 15-minute show that's actually an hour long. All right. So I am your host, Bombi Dombadil, along with my other host, MaryLynn, and of course, the Hank, Phil himself, who shall return shortly. Today we have an incredible special guest, and I'm going to go ahead and give the honor of the introduction to MaryLynn while Phil tries to continue to defy gravity.
So we actually have Jill Shelley with us today. She is from St. Croix Paranormal, and she is the owner of the Boyd House and the Haunted Masonic Lodge. So how are you today, Jill?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good.
I think he's permanently stuck.
I think so. That's okay.
Well, that's all right. Jill, I can't tell you how excited I am to have you on. What persuaded you to buy these locations? Like most people, like if they get uppity, they go and buy a timeshare. You were like, no.
Well, I always I love the paranormal. Always since a young child, and then in 2010, starting the group. So traveling over the U.S. to these well-known haunted locations, I was like, God, I'd love to have my own place. Crazily, and just have people come in and do research, and for me to do that. So 2010, financially, I was able to do that. So I just kind of found the Boyd House on my own on the MLS listing.
Oh,
yeah. So because nobody really advertises like, hey, my house is haunted, you want to buy it? So I just kind of went by a little bit of a gut feel. We looked at a lot of properties too, but I just got really attached and really drawn to the Boyd House, and we went out and investigated. We got a few things, and then talked with a psychic that I really trusted, and she told me a few things that came true after I purchased the house. And it's just been crazy there ever since.
So that's interesting that you say that you felt attached to it. Hey, there he is. Dang it, he goes right. We just can't get you the right way, buddy. So either way, while he's doing his thing, the fact that you say that you felt like you were attached to the house. Now, in some aspects, you could say, wow, that's really cool, that you felt like this connection. But at the same time, do you also, like, I've met a few people in my very short travels that I can say that they are more of the house than they are of themselves. Are you worried that may happen to you, Jill?
No, not really, because I don't live there. So yeah, I do have that attachment to the house. I'm very fond. With the spirits, I talk to them like I'm having a conversation with you, because I own it. I have to, clean it and do that kind of stuff. So, we talk to them a lot. We get them gifts. Like I'll go shopping. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the best thing for Minnie. Like I am the only person I know who shops for dead people. So I'm always bringing them gifts and things like that too. So I do feel like I'm part of their family in a way, because I also preserve their family history, and we have a book about their whole family, and I've reached out to their great grandchildren. They've told me all kinds of stories. So yeah, I am kind of preserving a little bit of their family, but I don't think it would be like you say, like in some of those movies where people do become part of the house.
That's pretty interesting thing that. Okay, so that's just one of the homes, right? That's the Boyd house, Boyd home, right?
Right.
Did you feel that same type of connection to the Masonic?
Oh yeah. So as I saw its picture, I'm like, I got to have this building. Like I knew.
That's crazy.
I knew that like that one, and it was farther than I wanted. I did want to try my hand at get some a little bit bigger building, but I really didn't want to be 6 hours away from it. But it just kind of fell into my lap. So I just love the building. I love everything about it. So
yeah. This is the port of the port. This is the port. This is the part of the show where we introduce our liquor. So we always do some spirits for the spirits. Today, I am doing my Buchanan's Pineapple Whiskey. Now, if you don't have anything, Jill, that's okay. I don't blame you. I blame your upbringing. Okay?
I got a Coors Light right here.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. And looks like you've got the fur ball.
The fur ball again.
And then Phil.
And the fireball, too. So.
Phil is having some technological differences.
Oh, there he is again. So let's try again.
Is he sideways?
Yep. Oh,
that was me. You were clicking and I was clicking. We're all clicking.
Oh, no, you went sideways again.
That's fine. At least we can see you.
Just drink from the side.
Yeah. That's fine. Phil, it's this time.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
And he's gone. Oh, no, he's back. And he's gone.
We have to get the sidekicks in there.
Well, it's
Sidekicks.
Well,
yeah.
This one has like this weird like marble in the top, and I don't understand how it works. Right? Like, what are you looking here? I don't get it. Oh, there it goes. There we go.
It's a slow pour.
Wow, this is what I'm going to be like when I'm 80.
Molasses.
Just shake it more than 3 times. You're playing with it, right?
Right.
Your camera's backwards.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, I can hear you a little bit now, Phil.
I don't think he said anything, so we can't.
I heard him clicking and clapping stuff around. I don't know. All right, well.
I'm just going to drink.
All right. Spirits for the spirits.
Spirits for the spirits.
Spirits.
Bill, you joining us?
Joining you.
Damn.
It should.
Leave it.
Wowza.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Wowza.
Yep.
So it looks like he's having internet issues too.
Yeah, I think so.
So, Jill, where are these locations?
So Boyd is in a town called Boyd, Minnesota. Real creative on the name I came up with. But it's in a really small, tiny town. It's about 145 miles southwest of the Twin Cities. It's in a really, like, you drive through all these cornfields and then poof, there's your town.
Dang.
And there's only like 2 things in town. There's like nothing left.
Oh, funny.
They only got about 170 people that are there. And then Keithsburg, Illinois is where the Masonic Lodge is. It's more of a southern tip of Illinois, and I'm still learning the geography over there, so I don't really know. People have to look it up. But it's pretty central too. Like, I know, like, we're 3 hours from St. Louis, Missouri. Like, we're close to Indy. We can pull from some of, like, parts of Wisconsin we're like 3 hours away from. Like, if you're, I believe, like, Green Bay area. So
I'm a big Green Bay Packer fan.
Yeah, it's like a big, really good location. So you can, it's a short drive for quite a different states too. So.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And yes, Gypsy Witch, that probably is to control my portion. And it works way too well. Also, hello. Sherry Robertson. She lives in Michigan, so she's not too far from Minnesota. I think Michigan, Minnesota are nearish. each other.
It's quite a drive, though. It can be, I think it's like 12, 11 hours, something like that.
Okay.
Depending where in Michigan you're going.
All right. Kara, Joyce, George, hello. Krista, hello. What the hell? Oh, that's my dog brushing up against my leg, not a ghost. Okay.
Not
So-
everything is a ghost.
Right. So you've been Saint Croix,
Croy.
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 Okay. How long have you been doing that for?
We started that group in 2010. So we started out just doing like private homes and businesses. Then we started branching out to the, as I call the pay to play places. And then in the meantime, we just did a lot of different things with the community. Then I started creating my own paranormal TV show that we just did our own thing on local cable here in town. Just for fun, because I kind of got into video editing. You know, I'm not like some major professional, you know, person, but I just love putting our stuff out there. And then it's more for us, like just to have a like little keepsake, you know.
So where are you right now?
Well, we're based out of Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
that's where I live too. So I live here. Yeah.
How do you survive the winters?
It's okay. You know, this winter's been awesome. Like everybody's had really crappy weather. This has been, we were like California this year. We've been warm. We had 0 snow. Maybe, you know, it was great. So, but most of the time, no, you just bundle up and, you know, 25 below, it's all good.
So you said after you had looked at the place, the Boyd place, I think you'd mentioned that you had spoke to a psychic.
Yes.
Do you want to say who that psychic was, or
no, she doesn't do, she's not around anymore. And,
okay.
And actually I kind of forgot her name now because I haven't been able to be in touch with her. But at the time she was phenomenal. Like I had used her a lot of times when I was doing investigating if I have questions. But like a lot of stuff that she told me about the house, like she said that there was men, women, and children in there. And then as we've been there, we've proven all of those things are true. But what was most interesting is she said the first night you stay there, which I haven't even purchased the house yet, but she said the first night that you stay there, you're going to meet the guy. He loves to garden and he's going to come in through the back door. And I was like, okay, so all night I'm like waiting for something to happen. And then I just happened to walk by the basement door, which leads to the outside. I have to go down the steps and then out. But all of a sudden there was this loud bam, bam, bam on the door. Like somebody was really pounding on it. You know, of course I jumped 10 feet because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't scientifically explain anything. There's like no draft. There's nothing that would have caused that to happen. Plus it was like 3 loud bangs, like somebody was knocking right on it. And then interesting, you know, nobody knew what the psychic had told me as far as the gardening thing goes. And there's a girl in town that she came to me and she's like, you know, I can kind of see spirits and stuff. And she's like, I saw a man gardening and then he walked through your back door.
Oh, wow.
So it really kind of validated what the medium had said. So yeah, there's just crazy stuff has been happening.
See, I would have completely misinterpreted that. I probably would have, when I heard something about banging in my back door, I probably would have just had lotion ready. You know, obviously I would have taken that the wrong way. So good for you. Good on you. Hello, Annie. Ian, they sound like Marley's ghost.
That's true.
So what is the history what compelled you with the history of this place that made you say, yeah, okay, I see this for me?
Well, I didn't really know any history when I bought it. Just mainly went off of, you know, the paranormal side of it. But as we got to learning about the history of the town, they were like right up against the Sioux Dakota reservation line as far as the town was.
Oh.
My house was the very house right on the edge of town. So literally you could like walk, like it'd be like walking kitty corner and you'd be in town.
Oh, wow.
And so back in the day, I have pictures of it in the 1900s. It was a really big booming Wild West town. They had the horses, the cowboys. They had so many businesses. They had over 500 people living there back in the day. So just kind of a lot of history. The blacksmith was actually across the street. And then the Boyd house was the first house to have plumbing, indoor plumbing as well in town. So we were pretty fancy back in the day. But the main characters of what we consider the story of the house, which was built in 1901, but in 1912, the Eckhart family moved in there, and they were very well known in town. So they owned one of the stores. So they did more of the fancy, higher end grocery type store.
Okay, they were like the old days Whole Foods.
Yes, and then they
Trader Eckhart's.
Yes, and they were he was justice of the peace. They helped build the Lutheran church. He was on the school board, fire department, so very, very well respected in town. And then both him and his wife passed away in the house. Minnie's funeral, that's his wife, was held in the home for 3 days. 2 of their children passed away in the home as well. One was in infancy, and then he was about 2. He choked to death.
Oh no!
So he was in the house, and then we have an older lady in the 70s that passed away, just heart attack or something. So now, other than the child that we know of, nothing's been like violent or anything that we have found on it. So I think I think the history of the town, the land, doing what we do, I think has kind of opened up some energies to come in as well, because I get a lot of names sometimes too, very frequently, but they don't correlate to any deed or anything I have. And then on top of that, we just thought, let's make it even more spooky and just fill it up with a bunch of supposed haunted objects. And then we also have the old antiques that we've brought the house back to the 1900s. So everything in there pretty much is antique furniture.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, just a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I looked on the website, and it's you've done very well. It's very pretty and how you've decorated, and I would definitely visit. Do you get a lot of people that come through?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, we've been super busy. When we first started out, you'd get a group here or there. So we opened, like I said, in 2018. So I think now it's kind of been word of mouth. So a lot of our weekends are booked, at least through fall at this point. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, because I saw your schedule. Looked like you had not available, and blacked out. So it looks like you're staying pretty busy.
Yeah, which is good, because almost all the money that we get goes back into the house. So far, we put a new roof on it. We just recently had to put new back stairs on because they fell apart. So just a lot of upkeep and maintenance. Things I didn't think about when I purchased the location.
So have you thought about holding an event there and try to get some, maybe some donations to help you get it up where you want it?
Yeah, we kind of thought Boyd would be a little harder just because it's a house. They do have the city hall we can rent, but it's a smaller building still. But we were talking that we were thinking maybe June of next year doing something over at the lodge, since it is a lot bigger location. And it'd be a lot easier to handle something like that. So it takes a while to get that planning. So we're really talking about it, because I'd really like to do it. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah, just let us know, because definitely on the lodge, that's something, if you do it about a year out, that gets definitely the planning, and people will be interested. So
right. Yeah. So we're hopefully work on that. So,
and Annie, hello. I am taking my meds. I only hear a few voices, and my back is doing much better. I've been staying with my therapy and medication for that. Kim, hello.
Hi, Kim.
And Annie Waters says she definitely wants to visit the Boyd house.
Oh, for sure. We'd love to have you.
Yep. And Phil he's on. Phil, can you hear us? I don't think he can hear us.
Well, he says he can hear, but I don't think we can hear him. He's just sitting out. So
yeah, he's having some type of connectivity issues.
It happens.
Yeah, but that does happen. Yeah, from time to time. So I like that you took the Boyd house and really you turned a haunted house into a haunted home.
Pretty much, yeah. And like I said, kind of a little tribute to the family.
Yeah.
Like we did a lot of research too on like the ancestry. So we found a lot of pictures. It was really nice.
Naked?
No naked.
Okay, good.
Way back in the 1900s. But yeah,
We're showing some ankle.
Yes.
they were. So yeah, we like we said, we put a little family history book together. Their kids have reached out and has told us stories, which I have retyped out because it's kind of nice to have stories that you're not going to find in the books. Just personal things about like their favorite meals and when one fell down the stairs and broke her arm. Just certain things like that. So, and I think it makes it a little more personable too. Like when I talk to the spirits, I'm like, I'll bring stuff up. We've brought in pictures at one point of like the pictures of the family inside their store that they owned, and we had like a K2 on it, and it just started hitting crazy when the pictures started coming out. And I was like, "Oh, do you know this picture?" And it was just going crazy. So yeah, they really like to interact there. They actually like to play cards. They move objects.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're a lot of fun. They're a good group. Like we don't have like anything evil or malevolent there. Everything's just really fun.
Now, what about?
Has anything scared anybody there?
Oh yeah, we've had a couple people get scared, but it just it's in everybody's take on things. We had some people, I don't know if they were really investigators more wanting to experience the paranormal. They said there were so many noises in the house they couldn't handle it, so they just left in the middle of the night.
Wow.
But yeah, so people have been touched, people have seen shadows. My husband actually, which I'm super jealous of. So he's not a big ghost guy, he's there to support me and helps me out. And as an investigator for all these years, I've never seen a full blown apparition. And he's already seen one apparition in that Boyd house.
Wow.
Yeah, he came in through the front stairs. He was carrying a box, and he looked up at the stairs, and he said, "Oh, I saw a woman standing there with like medium brown hair, wearing white." And he goes, "For a split second, I thought it was you, and then I looked away and looked again, and then she was gone."
Oh wow.
And I was just like, "Oh, this is so unfair."
Happy Hump Day, Diane. And Ian would like to know: has anything been caught on camera?
Oh gosh, there's so many things caught on camera. We've had a lot of equipment interaction, tons of that going off. I actually had one of my favorite things that I've captured is we learned that Minnie, they like to gamble, she like to play cards. So a lot of times we'll go downstairs, we'll play cards. And I was playing poker and games with them all night long. The REM pod was going crazy on the table. So I put a card, just one card, right to the edge of the table. It was never hanging over. It was just right to the edge. And I just said, "You guys, if you had a great time tonight, just throw that card off the table. I'd really appreciate it. That'll let me know we had fun today." And then I went to bed and I left the cameras rolling. And about 15 minutes after I left, the card went right off the table.
And you shared that video with me, so I'll play that really
Oh,
quick.
yes, I did send that, yeah.
Oh, there it goes. Wow.
Right here.
Whip.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've had them shake cameras before. Like you just violently see the camera shake. There's no explanation for that. People have had other things get knocked over that we've caught on film. Somebody's actually caught shadow figures in the kitchen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and a lot of people see that too. And just the way there's the way the house is shaped. There's no
That's
way.
where you catch me.
Yeah, there's no car headlights or anything. So you just kind of see, because we know there's like an adolescent and younger child there, maybe like 8. So it almost looked like 1 and 2, like they were running across.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And we get a lot of activity in the kitchen. We have the old metal cabinets. So they really make a lot of noise when you're banging on those. And I've woken up to hearing them banging.
Nothing's worse than waking up to hearing banging.
I know, but you know what? I'm too lazy to get out of bed, so I'm like, have at it, because I ain't coming to see what's going on.
So you sent us one that says about the dolls. So do you have a lot of dolls at the house?
Yeah, I think that's from the lodge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know which one was which. So then you have.
I think most of the rest ones are from the lodge, if I remember.
Oh, okay.
But if not, I'll correct it when it comes up. So.
Oh. Yeah, he's just had the name on it, so I didn't look at him because I wanted to experience it with you guys.
Yeah.
Purvis, how are you? And Ian asked if there were any drafts or anything similar to that in that room that you've ever experienced. Like AC kicks on, heavy blast.
Yeah, we don't have central air or anything. So not
I
really.
mean,
Everything that I have happen, I always try to rule out like what possibly could have caused this. So the things that I present is what I feel is in the paranormal realm. So
say hi to Sarah for me. That's cool. Also, speaking of apparitions, my lovely wife went ahead and painted Screamy. She just got this done today. It looks amazing, right?
She hand painted that on there.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
So let's switch gears and talk about the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah. So is that's where they used to make the jars, right?
Not Mason.
No?
No.
No. Actually, we recently learned actually it was the Arlington Hotel back in the 1800s because that building was built in 1861, but it actually started construction in 1858. But then in the 1900s, it became the Masonic Lodge. And they actually shared that with the Women's Eastern Star. So it was a combination of both lodges.
Well, that's really weird.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
Yeah, they
don't typically allow women in their lodge.
Right, but it's a really small town, so I think that's probably why. And I wouldn't have thought that, but I've had the people who live in the town who were former Masons or Eastern Star, they have come forward while I'm working, and they come and they give me tour, or I give them a little tour, walk around, and they tell me what happened. And
wow.
They don't go into great detail because I'm not allowed to, but like I'll ask like, oh, what did you have over here? What was this room used for? That kind of stuff. So it's been really kind of fun to talk with them and kind of try. Because I want to put it back to the way it was as much as I can. So
right.
So what are we talking square footage wise on both of these locations?
The Boyd House is like 2,100 square feet. So it's got a basement, a main level upstairs, and then the attic runs the whole level of the house.
Nice.
And then the lodge is 4,000 square feet. So
nice.
Yeah, the bottom's got like a lot of different rooms that you just kind of one big circle around, but they're different rooms that you go through. And then there's a basement with two smaller rooms. It's all just the old brick with the cellar door that opens up. And then upstairs is just two small rooms, and then the big, huge lodge where they held the ceremonies and the rituals and the meetings and stuff. Because there's an altar on each end of the building, and then they got stairs for the north, south, east, west stuff. So. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then it has a little projection room because they used to run slides back in the day. So
I love slides.
It's probably a different kind of slide, Mike.
Oh.
Not the one you go down.
not those kind?
No.
Oh man. Those are my favorite.
Oh, that would be a fun ride from the projection room down into the
right.
Whee! The Masonic slide.
Funny.
So I think you've got some more. You've got another video here. You want to play that one?
Yeah. So what's going on here?
So we were kind of, when we first started investigating, that there were children at this place at the location. So I started this would be like the very first time I came back for a true full overnight investigation. So I brought toys, and that was an EVP that we caught. You got.
And then the next one I have.
So that one, yes, it's a little bit hard. That's at the Boyd House, but that's off of the Spirit Box, and it sounds like "Don't hurt the people, I like them." So it's that real deep, dark voice that if you listen, it says that.
Let me play that again. Yep, I can hear that. And Phil is here. Hey, Phil.
Hello. Can you hear me this time?
We can hear you.
Awesome. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
See, I heard something about Taco Bell. Play it again. Cool.
And then the next one,
Can you do that again?
that's weird. Can't say I would.
Yeah, they had been touching those trip wires. And then, we, of course, asked, can you do that again? And then you get that little kid saying, can't say I would. So,
Can you do that again?
So you've definitely had some cool stuff go on in there. Mike, am I hungry? Yes, always. Ian was once invited to join the Masons, decided that my nipples are private. Nobody needs to see those. I feel you, Ian. I feel you. That is no entry areola. Definitely.
Dead silence.
So, Phil, now that you're in, do you have any questions for Jill?
I got to hear some off and on. It sounded like a few people had passed away in the Boyd house.
Yeah, pretty much the entire Eckhart family at one point, and then I think you said a female moved in and she passed probably from a heart attack,
old age or something like that. Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's what we know of too. We've had a couple other people say that, farther back in the day when they didn't keep records, that they think that some people may have passed in the house, like say they were being taken care of because they were sick. And I did actually find an article where one of their, I think it was their aunts or something, was staying with them because they were helping with sick family. So there could be a possibility where somebody passed away in the home that I'm not aware of as well.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Well,
So
Josh says Masonic lodges are some of the most active places he's investigated. The Masons, being that I used to be a Mason, I can tell you that ritual absolutely goes on in a Masonic lodge. And so I think when you place intent, there's going to be activity.
That's true.
We definitely got a lot of activity. I would say for me too, and I've been to many places. I would say this is one of the more definite active locations I have as far as like a lot of equipment, the physical feels, things that go on there. I think on our third investigation, one of our favorite things is we were just getting a lot of interaction with the different spirits. But Teresa was in the kitchen. She was making a sandwich and we were all in a different room. And all of a sudden I just heard this loud bam. And my thought was, oh my God, did she just drop the cooler on the floor? Like that's how loud it was, like that. And she comes busting through the door. She's like, oh my God, somebody slammed something behind me. And then we went in there to kind of investigate. And the only thing, because at that point it's empty. There's really not a whole lot in there. Nothing's going to fall on the floor, nothing like that. The only sound we could replicate was slamming the cupboard door.
Wow.
And so we just assumed that that's exactly what it was. Because we even had somebody go back in the room and they're like, yep, that's exactly what it sounded like. So that was one of our most active nights. And sometimes you'll hear the doors rattle, like the actual turning of the knobs. You'll hear footsteps. It's just a lot of craziness. Nothing harmful though. I think everything's been pretty good with us. We've had long talks. They said they acknowledged the work that we're doing. They were happy with what we were doing. They said they were excited to meet with other people. So I think like I said, I don't think we got nothing negative there. I think it's just all curiosity.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that, beings that get, over to the other side, that don't move on, that stick around, you got to figure, if they passed away in the early 1900s and they're just now starting to talk to somebody, 120 years later, that would be pretty interesting to them, right?
I would think so. And then, like I said, I know that nobody has really communicated or tried to talk to them until I came about. We did have several people come forward, even a couple of the Masons that I thought it was kind of cute. The one guy, he came in and he said he was the master Mason for like 70 years there. Wow. And so after we did our little introductions, he goes, so have you seen her? And I go, who? He goes, the woman. have you seen her? She's upstairs. I've seen her many times. So it was kind of fun to talk to him and get some verification that there is something that is there. So
do you have any aspirations to buy another location, or you're just going to kind of stick with these two for right now?
Well, I'm going to stick with these two for right now, but call me crazy. I'd like to have a third one. So. And then my husband always wonders why I complain when I can't retire. So.
Right.
Do you have like a bucket list place, a must visit for you that you just love to check off?
I want to actually go to the old Southburg Hospital over there. So really, I haven't been there, but it's just kind of on my bucket list. Last couple of years, everybody in my group has been different family changes, school, work changes. So we haven't really been getting out like we used to, but we still do it. So we got 2 trips on that plan this year.
Well, I can tell you why you're not getting out. Your bike don't have no wheels. That's a problem. All right, that's pretty cool. For me, I think we've talked about this. I would love to see, Vlad's castle, Dracula's castle. I really do think that would be pretty dang awesome.
It's just such a long scooter ride.
It's so long. You know how many charges it would take?
It takes so many charges to get there.
20 miles a pop. Oof.
And I'm not going to follow you in the truck.
No. What about you, MaryLynn?
For me, I just want to do a castle run through Scotland and Ireland. I want to go visit all the castles and just everywhere over there and experience that, because that's my heritage. So I just want to go back to the heritage and see what I can feel.
Phil?
This one's easy. I'm in my 40s and I love Elvis. If I had it my way, I would go to either Graceland or right here in the sunny Las Vegas and investigate Westgate, which used to be the old International where Elvis Presley used to perform. That's where I'd want to investigate.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Elvis?
Elvis, baby.
Hey there, Bubba. I'll be a prince and look my ham sandwich. Best Elvis I got. But Gypsy Witches, heck yes, Ireland. Yep. Marcy Lee comes in. Hey, everyone. Marcy, thanks for joining us. We've got Jill with us right now, and she is the proud owner of both a Masonic temple in Illinois, southwestish Illinois.
Yep, in Peaceburg, Illinois.
There it is. And the Boyd House, which is in Boyd, Minnesota.
Correct. Yep.
Woohoo! I'm learning. So with that, when you decided to buy like the place that had the Masonic temple, had you investigated other Masonic areas before?
No, this would have been my first Masonic lodge that I've ever been to.
You just jumped in both feet, huh?
And I really didn't know very much about, all the Masons. I'm learning a lot. So yeah, it's a very interesting culture. I will say that. So
I found out, and I did not know this. So I live in Boulder City, Nevada, which is basically nothing more than like a faraway suburb of Las Vegas. We have a Elk Lodge, which is for the veterans of foreign wars, and some other lodge that they use it together, which is like an offshoot of the Masonic temples. We then have a Knights of Pythias here. The only other place I've ever seen a Knights of Pythias, which is also an offshoot of the Masonic Order, is in Virginia City, and it is derelict, and it is very haunted. I just found out that there's an actual Masonic temple here. There's an actual temple for the Masons here in Boulder City as well. And I've gone by it like a gajillion times and never even noticed it.
So Boulder City is not that big. What are they doing there?
That's what I don't get. How are there so many different
So are you referring to the odds? That what organization you're referring to?
Maybe. But really strange that there's all these different Masonic orders. There's only, I think there's 14,000 people in Boulder City.
Well, you got to remember too that Henderson was probably not there. I think Boulder City came in before Henderson, so it was
Way before.
by itself. So they had their own little thing going on, and then all the suburbs became one.
Yeah, I think the first houses were built like 1932 or something like that, or maybe even earlier in the 20s. I'm not sure because they built it. Boulder City was literally just a shanty town for people that had just kind of showed up at a chance to get a job to work on the Hoover Dam.
Right.
And a lot of people died trying to build the Hoover Dam. I don't know how many people know that, but it was
they're saying that there's a lot of bodies that were, when they were pouring the concrete, people dying, they actually did not pull them out there. So their bodies are entombed in the Hoover Dam.
Yeah, they couldn't because a lot of them, when they passed, a lot of them were basically hanging off the side of the cliffs, blew themselves up with dynamite, fell, got too cold, froze to death. But and I can't tell you how rampant syphilis was. I mean, everybody had syphilis. It was crazy.
Anybody?
It was like Oprah with syphilis. It's ridiculous. I think. I don't know. I may have made that last part up. I'm not sure.
I think so. So, Jill, what do you have planned, or do you go? I know we met you at the one of the Paracons. So, do you have a Paracon that you're going to, or do you set up tables, or where can we find you?
No, I'm going to a bunch of them this year. So I'll be at the one, the Michigan one in St. Sault Marie.
See you there?
We got one. Oh, cool. Yeah, look me up. And then, there's just so many. I don't even know. So we got like the Great Lakes one. We're doing the Benson one in Iowa. There's another one up in Milwaukee, the Pear Rock. I don't know. I just got a whole gamut of stuff. So I just look at my calendar and it tells me where I'm going this weekend. So.
Right. So we're actually going to be busy coming up in May, but in June we're going to be going to the Alabama Bigfoot Conference.
Okay, that'll be fun.
We're actually going to be filming there too. So
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, Bigfoot. We're gonna find him.
We're going to go find
I've
Bigfoot.
never done that. I've never gone, squatching, as they say. I've never done it. So.
I found out that the term they use is booger. Did you know that?
In the South, yeah.
Yeah, they call them boogers.
I gotta be honest. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, if we find them, invite him back for a drink. Like, what do you do?
That's probably what I would do.
That's definitely what you would do.
I wouldn't share my food; they'd eat it all. Sherry, she's gonna be at the MI Paracon. Whoop whoop! We will be there.
Well, I'll be there too, but I'll be coming in a little bit late because I have work that I gotta unfortunately do before I can go to the Paracon.
Yeah, she unfortunately has scheduled an event on her OnlyFans and doesn't know how to erase it. So
You're not supposed to tell anybody that.
I know. Well, how are you going to make money? You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm good.
Hey, I'm good.
And
See,
then
I
I
like-
bring the Jello shots.
Ooh, nice.
Jello shots.
Diane makes fantastic Jello shots. If she ever comes down to the Boyd house, I'm sure she'll make you some. But I would definitely like a decent photo, a picture with.
With
But
the
you know
foot.
what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring a comb. What if the dude what if it's just a guy who just needs to brush his hair?
He's afraid for people to see him.
He's way too matted for that.
Right? Maybe like a bow tie, make him look presentable. We can start him on a LinkedIn, help him get a job.
Absolutely.
You can always
Stop
bring
running
in
from life.
one of your costumes.
That's true. I always bring costumes just about everywhere I go.
You
In
do
Michigan, Paracon, you'll probably get a chance to see the Goat Man.
Oh no. Ian says, given America's hunting culture, if a Bigfoot exists, it have been shot and displayed by now.
You know what? That's what I would think. However, there's so many theories to the Bigfoot. You know, and I think we actually just had kind of a little bit of a conversation in regards to is it possible, very similar to ghosts, right? So if they can be like in the Boyd house, right? They could be there sometimes, not there others. Is it possible that a Bigfoot can travel between planes, showing up only to, shows up to eat, maybe to, I don't know, make a deposit at its local bank, okay, and then it heads off, back to its wherever it's from. Woo! Bigfoot land, Bigfootopia. We don't know, right? That's the beauty of it all. We don't really know.
And that's what we aim to find out in June.
That's the goal.
That's what we're trying to do. Yep.
And then after that, it's aliens.
We're on our way to Skywalker Ranch. Let's go.
And then, have you guys heard of mole men? I'm just learning about mole men.
Mole men?
Or the mole people.
No,
I've not heard that
That's a
one.
new one for me.
I've seen a few videos now where they talk about the mole people, and apparently the mole people are the ones that live deep, deep, deep underground and are incredibly, very, 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 very dangerous.
And
Well, I
they're
mean,
blind.
yeah, of course, because I can't see. So
I mean, I
interact
don't.
with them, and you know what I mean. It's got to be.
I mean, what?
Jill's
would it
thinking,
look
what did I
like?
get myself into?
Well, I mean, you never know. You never know when you could run across stuff like that. So it's cool to learn about what people have taken an interest in, because I mean, you don't know, right?
Yep.
Very interesting.
And it's the same thing. Like, so the Boyd house. Do you happen to know if the family is buried at like a local cemetery?
Yeah, they're buried at the church that they were a part of. So I went down there and took pictures of the grave site, and then their parents are buried there as well.
Wow,
And then, their two young children that passed away are buried there as well too.
so that's a lot.
What's cool is when you can have the complete history on the house and it's all just right there. That's really cool.
Yeah, I just love digging up history. We found a lot of history too on the Masonic. So like they were the ones that had their first picnic there in like the 1900s, and it brought in like I think they said like 500 people, which back in the 1900s, that's a lot of people drawn in, taking trains and cars for this huge picnic that they did.
A whole lot of Lunchables.
Yes, a lot of Lunchables. So just a lot of history, different things that they did, and then who was elected officials. So we got a lot of that stuff. But now that we know of the Arlington Hotel, hopefully we can go back and find some possible newspaper articles. We do have a picture of it when it was the Arlington Hotel. So that's about the only information so far that was found. But it'd be kind of cool to find out more, like, gosh, if there was a big shootout or something. But that Master Mason actually told me the way he phrased it, he was like, yeah, they did some, it was kind of one of those. And I'm like a brothel. He's like, yeah, like that. So, I'm sure there's a lot of history there too with that, being at the brothel and an old hotel back in the 1800s, So, yeah, just a ton of stuff going on, which would explain probably why the kids are there too.
Right. So before you bought the locations, you were doing investigations. So what is the best story, the one that when you were doing an investigation, what's just something that really got to you?
Oh, there's many things. But I think one of our most craziest nights we had was at Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. So now if people are familiar with the history of that place, it's got a lot of dark negative energy. They had a doctor there that did a lot of unethical things to his patients. They buried body parts in the backyard. He mercy killed his daughter. A child died there. And then also a man dropped dead in front of this closet, Virgil, on the day he was supposed to retire. So he's pretty pissed off, and he does a lot of things to people in that closet.
This place is called Whiskers?
Whispers.
Oh,
Like a whisper, whisper estates.
I was like, this place sounded so lovely at first. And then it went straight downhill.
So what happened that makes that the most memorable for you?
So, we decided what crazy people don't go in the closet, that you're warned that a lot of bad things happen. So there we are in the closet. And so I heard this man's voice in my head that said, get out of this closet. But I just assumed that it was my crazy here, because I had a phobia about that. So I stepped out, but I didn't tell my friend that. And when I'm saying this closet, it's like a big walk-in. They have a small table. They have a couple of chairs. So it's big. So there's room. So she's sitting more towards the back of the wall on a chair.
It does, Michelle.
And the next thing you know, she comes flying out of that room with her in the chair. So she got thrown about 4 feet across the room.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We had that. And then all night, too, we were getting that cobweb. We were all doing this all night long. And it just would not stop. We saw wet footprints coming up from the stairs that nobody had been back there. It was just a crazy night. We vowed we'd never go back. And then I think like 3 years later, we went back, but Teresa refused to go. So we didn't get quite the same activity as we did the second time around. But definitely that first time is creepy as hell.
Right. Yeah, I think usually when you go in expecting something, then it doesn't happen.
Right.
Right, because you're ready for it in a way.
Right. You're looking for it. Yep.
And Michelle, you're right. Whiskers does sound like a brothel, which ironic that you mentioned that the Masonic Temple, they had potentially prostitutes. See, it all comes back to syphilis. You know what I mean? There's just no escaping it.
So you must have died of syphilis in a past life, because it seems to revolve around your life.
I just think
you're
it's
really
word.
pissed about it.
It's a
Like,
beautiful
really
word.
is.
Like if I had a kid, I'd probably name her Syphilis. It just rolls off the tongue.
Oh, good thing
Right?
for Krista. Goodness gracious.
Same thing with like Charmin. It's just what a lovely name.
Squeeze.
Hey Connie, what's up? Pour another one, Phil. You'll be sideways again. That's true. And Ian, you're right. That could just be the mythology of everything, as an excuse. It's quite possible. But I guess that's also kind of the beauty is we're not really sure, so it's hard to, you never want to write anything off. Now it's different. I think people always like to say how they're skeptical, right? I'm skeptical. I'm skeptic. I don't like looking at things as a skeptic. I like looking at them as an optimist, right? Because you're going in with the hope that you do see something, right? You don't want to see, you're not going in there to make it happen, but I think if you go into a place, pleasantly optimistic. What's that?
Anticipation.
Right. I think it's just, it's a better tone for all, That's what I think. Right. What up, Michelle? Oh, I've got a call with Sue on Thursday, Michelle, just so you know. She's had a couple of things come up, so we've moved the call to Thursday. Michelle LeBaron, Jill, she's a ghost magnet. She's the ghost magnet, and she's out of Reno, and she does a lot of work with the Nevada State Prison.
Interesting.
So if you ever get a chance to come down to Vegas or Virginia City, definitely go and visit the Nevada State Prison. I'm yet to do it, but that's kind of our plan. We're going to try to do that here this July, is to kind of go down there and see them, because we've got a little thing coming up in Virginia City, which is pretty cool. We're very excited. And tickets for that are on sale. I think they're $275. It's a 3-day, 2-night extravaganza.
Yep.
And it's basically all about the history of Virginia City. So whereas like the Washoe Con and the ComCon, which are really more of the paranormal side of Virginia City, there's a lot of paranormal investigators that will be involved with this con specifically, but it really revolves around the history of Virginia City, how it was made, visiting some of those places. Yes, and Nevada State Prison will be there, so that'd be cool. And Ian says, yeah, I think we all want to see evidence of a world beyond our lifetimes, but it doesn't always happen. Mark, what up, buddy? So we are, again, for all those who are just tuning in, we are here with Jill. Jill owns both a Masonic temple in Illinois. The name is
Haunted Masonic Lodge.
The Haunted Masonic Lodge, yes, in southern Illinois. And then the Boyd House in Boyd, Minnesota, what's that?
I said, yep, that's right.
And it's about 145 miles southwest, is it?
Yep, southwest of the Twin Cities.
Of the Twin Cities. So it is cold as up there, but super awesome. So I highly recommend their website. Her website is listed down below. Please feel free to favorite those. She does book up pretty far in advance, but I'm sure she'd love to have any of you guys that are on. Just tell them the weirdos from Sidekicks Paranormal sent you.
And Jill, we'll be reaching out as well to see what we can book with you too.
Oh yeah, perfect. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, I definitely want to get out there.
Yep.
That would be super awesome. And it's really interesting because that whole area, that whole like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. Look, that's where I'm just gonna say that's where the serial killers are from. Okay?
Mostly Wisconsin.
That's true. All my family's from Wisconsin, so I should probably be concerned. But it's true. Like, what is it with like that area? It's crazy.
It must be the cheese. I don't know.
Did you know Green Bay is also the America's largest producer of toilet paper?
No, I did not.
Must be
Why do I know
up
this?
there.
I don't know.
Who knew? Who knew?
All right, see you, Michelle.
We got to do a plug for Para with the Normal.
Yes. Do you have the other trailer?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Nice.
I can be your hero,
God
baby.
damn it, Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike, and death sucks. I've had a couple of deaths in my family recently, and I want to know, what comes after this? Is there life after death? So I'm teaming up with MaryLynn, a psychic / paranormal investigator. And together, we're going to check out some really awesome haunted locations. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find some of the answers that I'm looking for.
Mike really has a hard time paying attention. His mind is all over the place. Watch your step. Mike, you need to be careful. You need to know what's going on around you because you're going to hurt yourself.
What happened?
You just fell.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to have my hands full. Hey, what are you doing?
What?
Didn't we talk about that last night?
Yeah, I'm not as big on friends as you are. I told you I'm more of an office guy.
You're not supposed to be eating on investigations. Do that either before we come
Okay,
in.
well, hold on now. That was really more of a nibble.
Is he seriously eating right now?
How did you expect me not to eat? Do you know how hungry you get doing these investigations? Sometimes you just gotta snack. A man has to snack.
Mike, could you not eat during the party?
So I love the part with when you spit it out on your
Right?
see it.
There was a lot of takes for that as well. People may not know. Mostly those takes were because everyone kept laughing and ruining it. So we had to keep doing it over and over again. And you know me, I never do the same thing twice. So because everything, the entire show, nothing is scripted. And the show is Jill. The show is basically it's the adventure of a psychic / paranormal investigator and an idiot. And it's one idiot's crusade to find out, to learn, to grow, and to see what comes next. And really, it's to kind of show people that you don't have to be a professional investigator. You could be just your normal old self, and you can have a great time. You could really have some incredible experiences. There are some very cathartic experiences. There are some very scary moments in our show so far. There's some very sad, some very deep moments. So we really run the gambit, or gamut, I guess, of emotion. You just wouldn't, you'd be surprised. So it's going to be a great show. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it looks good. I'd watch it for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing with him. It's never know what's happening. And
Well,
it's
you
just
get a lot of entertainment value out of this too. So it's like you get to watch the ghost stuff and you get entertained at the same time too. So
exactly, yes. And then I get to do what I like to do, and then because I like to teach as well, but I try to keep him in line and figure out what he's doing.
Good luck.
I know.
All right, folks. Well, we have reached our hour mark. Jill, it has been awesome getting to talk to you and your bike with no wheels. We greatly appreciate it.
yeah, it was great.
And we're very excited. We definitely want to see you at the MI Paracon.
Yes.
We definitely have to hook up. And we definitely need to come visit the Boyd House. And we would love to see the Masonic Temple. And my dogs are very opinionated right now. Tasty. Take care, everybody.
Peace.